Hello guys, welcome to the stream. I am so sorry, but I was doing a couple of test streams last night and I actually forgot to switch over my streaming output. So I was essentially streaming into the void for like 15 minutes before I realized something was up. But luckily now we're actually online, actually live, so I am literally itching to get started on this little guy. He is so cute. Absolutely adore him. I realized over the weekend that the texture of the paper had actually made some streaky lines over him. Hang on, move this a bit closer so it's slightly easier to see. So yeah, as you guys can tell, there's a couple of streaky lines that he's got. It's not the end of the world, but you know, he does have some streaks through his fur, which I'll try to get rid of as much as I can in the drawing. But if I can't completely fix it, I'll just adjust it digitally. Because I transfer my drawings over to watercolor paper anyways, so it won't be the biggest issue. Really shouldn't. I'm literally itching to get started on the oil painting of him. He is so cute. And I know painting him is going to be super fun. Furs is one of those super mesmerizing things to draw that I can draw endlessly all day long. I used to really despise drawing it because the strange thing about fur is it all looks the same, but it's really, really not. It's actually so complicated because you can't just go and draw a strand of fur here and a strand of fur there. You know, it's very complicated. Killer Koala! Thank you so much for that raid! Oh my goodness! How have you been? Hang on, I need to do a shout out for Killer Koala. Guys, you really need to check out Killer Koala's art. He was working on a beautiful, beautiful character. It looked like a half deer character. I'm not entirely sure, but she's apparently from Dungeons and Dragons. And yeah, since I'm not familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, I probably won't recognize her, but I'm sure a bunch of you guys probably will. She was beautiful. I love the colors. Hello everyone, how are you? Thank you for the follow, Oodles. Really, really appreciate that. You were secretly hoping I was streaming this late for you. Well, I wasn't necessarily sure if I would be streaming today, but things luckily worked out, and I was actually live for 20 minutes, or thought I was live for 20 minutes when I was just streaming into the void on my local computer, and then I realized, hang on, something's weird. And so I realized, because I had done some test streams over the weekend to see what was causing all of our lag, yeah, I was actually just streaming into the void. So it was pretty funny, literally talking to myself. No muscles, thank you for the follow. You love my art style so much. It is so unique. Thank you, Peachy Prim. I'm glad you like it. So I actually started this drawing. It's based off a dream I had of a beautiful yak that helped my brother and I carry some stuff up a large mountain. And after dreaming about it, I just knew I had to draw a yak. It was just so cute, you know? How could I not? How could I resist drawing this beautiful creature? So yeah, we've worked on it a couple days last week because the fur is really detailed and it's taking me ages to get through. But essentially it's going to be a beautiful white yak. It's going to have a dreamy, cloudy, almost aurora borealis background, and they will both be standing in some water that sort of goes into the mist. But that'll be in the oil painting. So I need to figure that out eventually, but right now we're just trying to finish the grayscale drawing. So how did the rest of your stream go, Killer Koala? And if you want to drop a link to your socials, please do, guys. Please go ahead, follow that link that I shared in chat. Please go follow Killer Koala. His work is super awesome. It seems very symbolic and sweet. I think most of my work tends to be quite symbolic in some ways. Like, I don't always necessarily give it a meaning, like a deliberate meaning. I like to leave things more open to interpretation so that, you know, you guys can decide what you want it to be. But yeah, I feel like most of them, I like to give my work, you know, stronger concepts and have some meaning behind them. So we were actually going through a couple of different names on Discord that we could give this guy, and I've really liked some of you guys' suggestions. I'm still on the lookout, so keep them coming. If you guys have a really good idea for a name, I'm really looking for something that seems like he's a wise and a really wise and noble yak, you know. So something stately. Koala! Thank you so much for gifting that sub to Killer Koala. Hello, I didn't even know you were here. How are you doing, Dover? Guys, please, please, please go check out Killer Koala's Instagram page. Give him a follow. His work is super awesome. I would show his work on stream, but I don't want to risk another stream crash, and we've had those pretty much repeatedly. So I'm trying to avoid those happening. Felt like a real yakety yak, don't talk back moment streaming into the void. It really did, Fuego. It really did. I was like, you know, something doesn't seem right. And then it was like, you know, it's been quite a while now and no one is even online. And that's usually very odd. So I thought, is my internet broken or what's going on? You know, like, it'd be great to record a YouTube video that way, but not exactly for live streaming, you know? You kind of want to have conversations with people when you're live streaming. That is the whole point. My voice is so sweet and caring. Aw, thank you, Oodles. Thank you. You were on a call with your parents, so you were lurking for a bit. Okay, okay. I wasn't sure. I never know when you guys are on. Name him Sage or Odin. Odin! Odin! I actually really like the name Odin for. That sounds very fitting. Yeah, Havidi the Wise. That's another one I'm really liking as well. Yeah. Those are all good names. You guys are making it so hard for me to choose. Because now I've got so many options. But hey, that's what I asked for, right? Liber Stroller? Stroller? Ricky Bobby? I don't know what those are referring to. Are they movie characters? So did you start that drawing you were working on tonight, today, Killer Koala, or did you start it previously? Like, how long have you been working on that piece? It looks like you've put a ton of work into it, but it looks worth it. It's always so rewarding when you spend a long time on a piece and you see that final product and it's really good. I'm so sweet. Well, you are the supportive one. You're always coming here onto my stream, following me, having some cool conversations, raiding me. I can only do so much to return the favor. I actually haven't really seen your stream live in ages, and normally, so I don't know, is this your usual time that you stream? Because I've never seen you live before. Am I submitting an art piece for Cody's prompt this week? What is Cody's prompt this week? Lothar. I like that name. You should definitely post these in Discord. I like them. No, you started the sketch on Thursday and inked it through the last 2 days. Finally got to add colors today. Well, isn't that exciting? The moment when you get to add color is always the best bit, isn't it? It's when everything comes to life. It is so rewarding. Sorry, thought you saw my art before in Cody's streams. I did, yeah. So I think I rated Cody and he probably shared my work then. And I also did join Cody's prompt ones. I joined his eyeball challenge a couple months ago, I think. I think it was 2 months ago. Um, but yeah, what is Cody's current prompt for this week? I don't mind joining. It was short for Lothar, King of the Yak Folk and Redeemer of the Hills. I really, really like that now. That seems very, very fitting. Sundays are bonus streams. You usually work Sundays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are your regular days. But what times? Like, do you always stream at this current time that you did, or is it usually a different time? You're bad with colors, but the practice is helping. I don't think you're bad with colors. I really like those colors. I actually felt like the colors were the best part. They really, really felt so nice and soft and beautiful to me. Yeah, right, that's what you remember. Yeah, it's actually in this book, Peachy Prim. So the one I did for Cody's previous challenge, so this was Edward Scissorhands. We worked on him early last week. And so I still want to make a slight adjustment to his left cheek because it's not entirely symmetrical and it's just looking a little bit off. But I'm really happy with how he turned out. Really, really happy. This is another little girl we did doing somersaults, but her arm here needs to be more foreshortened, so I need to go in and tweak that. And this one is based off a song by Florence and the Machine called My Boy Builds Coffins. So I had wanted to illustrate that song for so long and put it off because I never felt like I could truly give it the love that it deserved. And I think 2 weeks ago I did this one and I decided, you know what? If you're always going to put it off, you're never going to get to it. So I just plunged into it and I was really, really happy with how he turned out. I really love his sweater. I so badly want one like that for myself now. And so, yeah, this was the drawing we did for Cody Shibby's eyeball challenge. So, yeah, she is sucking on an eyeball lollipop actually. But yeah, I really, really enjoy doing this one. I actually started this one a lot smaller. So yeah, I wasn't sure, whether to just redo it because I'm actually going to, create an oil painting out of this one as well. Hello, Lightboard. How are you? Thank you again so much for that donation the other day. I'm really, really getting closer to, getting that camera now. Usually later afternoons your time, mountain time, till somewhere in the night. Okay. He's so cute. He really is. I know, I know. And her song, have you listened to that song? It's awesome. It's one of my favorites. I think that one and Girl with One Eye are probably my two favorites by her. But she's got a ton of really good songs, especially her Lungs album and Ceremonials. Those two are my favorites. You gotta go cool down though. It's been a hot day here. You hope I have a great stream and day. I will, I definitely will. It looked like it was really, really stuffy in there in that small room, especially with the door closed for streaming, so I hope you get to cool down and have a nice cold drink. You've been hearing that a lot, heat wave and stuff. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, the heat wave is seems to be intense in America. That is awesome. I'm glad you like it, Lightboard. I'm glad you like it. But yeah, we're working on the act today, so need to hopefully make some good progress on him. Eyebally pop. You love the eyeball drawing. Well, I would love to join another Cody prompt actually. So yeah, I just need to check out what his current prompt is, and maybe Tuesday or Wednesday I can, you know, work on a new prompt. Seeing this makes you wonder if I know the comic book character Lenori. I actually don't. But I have heard of her. Isn't it Lenori, the creepy, like creepy dead girl or something? I really seem into that one, Lightboard, but I literally just watched like one clip of it and she started killing a hamster and I was like, I don't like you anymore. Like, go and stab people, but don't stab a harmless, adorable hamster. So I was out of there. But I'm sure there are lots of aspects of that show that I'd really like. Horns would love to see it. Oh, Horns would love to see it. That would be interesting. Yeah. I'll have to have a think about that. I did draw a little woodland deer girl at one point. So I'd probably go something along those lines again. You know. But it's Cody's challenge, so it has to be something kind of creepy as well, right? Has to. The cute little dead girl, yeah. Yeah, sorry, I've seen maybe like 30 seconds of a clip of one where she just started massacring a hamster and I was like, nope, I'm good. I don't need to see this. But yeah, I'm sure like other parts of the series are probably really cool and I'll actually like them. So I'm willing to give it another shot as long as I don't have to rewatch that clip. Doesn't have to be creepy. I guess so, I guess so. Anyone watching Sweet Tooth, speaking of horns and woodland animals? What is Sweet Tooth exactly? Wait, what clip was that? Why is a hamster being hurt? I don't know. So I watched like Zazu is literally freaking out because one of his feathers is blowing in the wind. Um, so I watched like I googled Lenori the little dead girl and I watched like one video and she was like I don't know, there was this hamster toy or something and if you squeezed it its eyeballs would like pop out and so she went to a pet store to get herself one as well, except it was a real one and so she killed her hamster by squeezing it too hard. So, you know, I'm good. Like, that's not exactly my kind of creepy that I like. You know, everyone has their own brand of creepy. I don't feel like hurting hamsters is the healthy kind. So, not my thing. But you know, there's probably other episodes that I might be into, so. It's just, you know, once you hate a character for having done something, how do you get it out of your head? How am I ever gonna look at Lenori the dead girl and ever see her the same way after she's hurt that hamster? Every time I'm just gonna be like, Well, I don't even like the protagonist in this story anymore because she literally kills hamsters, right? Artful Turkey, thank you so much for the raid. I was so close to popping into your stream earlier, and then I almost burnt my sausage roll in the oven, and so it was like, just slipped my mind. What was your stream like? I hope you had a good time. I know, right, Tova? It's ridiculous. You didn't realize they made animated shorts. You just had a couple of the comic books. Okay. I'm pretty sure, yeah, they've got animated shorts on YouTube. Hello, everybody from Artful Turkey's stream. Welcome. We are working on my beautiful, beautiful white yak today. So hopefully, you know, we can make some more progress on him. Artful Turkey, if you want to drop a link to your Instagram, please, please do. Please post what you were working on. I would love to see that. But yeah, mostly just, you know, everybody go follow Artful Turkey. Sorry, we had 2 raids recently, so my head's sort of wrapped around both names. But yeah, guys, go and follow Artful Turkey and check out his Instagram as well. Your friend that got you into Lenore painted her on a canvas for you. This was over 25 years ago. Do you have a picture of that painting, Lightboard? The one that got you was she had a baby in a stroller and had birdseed in the stroller with the baby. Why did that one get you? Birdseed in the stroller with the baby. So, what does that do? You were doing a VR stream. It was a super secret spy. Okay, everyone was impressed with you. Like, for how well you played? What's the goal? What do you need to get done in that game? I haven't seen it and I haven't played it, so you have to enlighten me. Actually, I've never played VR before. I'd really like to give it a go. But, you know, they're expensive, and probably my biggest issue with them is you can't exactly play a lot of games on them, other than games that you have you sitting still in one spot, and I don't really like that. As they should be. Birds flocked to the stroller and pecked away at everything in the stroller. Oh dear. You will take a photo and send what she did. Is it a really gory painting? Or does it actually look cute? I'm still holding a grudge against Lenore for the hamster thing. So, I don't know. We'll see. Deep Surface, thank you for the follow. Please sit down and join our vampire tea party. We're happy to have you here. The painting is okay. It's just Lenore holding a knife. Now, see, that I like. That I don't mind. Maglomaniac, thank you for that raid. Oh my goodness, we had 3 raids in a row. Maglo, please, 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 I am not familiar with you, so you're gonna have to drop some links to your socials, because this is the first time you have raided us. So what size is this painting, Lightboard? Another raid, woohoo. What were you working on, Maglomaniac? Were you doing an art stream, or Were you playing a game? What were you doing? Maybe 12 by 18 inch? Okay, okay. That's a nice size. Have you framed it? What a magnificent giant land seal. Exactly. Exactly. We all know that this is the famous giant land seal. That's definitely correct. Very, very good observation, Sendo. Glad you noticed. But yeah, it's also a magical white giant land seal. So yeah, he is very wise, and we're trying to go through a couple of name suggestions for him. And we've got some good ones going, so we're currently collecting them in Discord. So if you guys want to contribute with your name suggestions, please go ahead. Because we need to find him a very fitting, very suitable name, and I am going to go through all of them once I have enough contributed. Sando, thank you for the follow. You're in the right place. I'm speaking your language. Well, good, good. I'm glad you found a space that's weird enough for you, you know? Those are sometimes the best spaces to discover, but also so hard to find. And why do you know that's not good? Why is a white yak not good? It's still unframed. Okay. Is it like a canvas one that sort of wraps around? Because I feel like sometimes those look just as good unframed as they do framed. You know, some pieces don't need to be framed. They really don't. It really depends on the piece of art, whether or not and how you should frame it. I really like these sort of setting. So, you know the gesso board? I'll show you. So basically what artists do is they would take a, a gesso board painting like this, and then they would create a piece, like essentially a small box of wood, a little larger so that there's a slight gap between the painting and the frame. And it would look like the painting is floating inside essentially a little, like a wood frame. It's beautiful. I love when they do that. I may be able to find a picture for you guys and share it on Discord. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I love that. I feel like it's such a simple and also non-intrusive way to frame a piece. You know, especially if you're sort of tossing up whether or not to actually frame it, that can sometimes be a great decider, you know, whether or not you should. It's stretched on a wood frame, yes, just not in a larger, fancier frame. Okay, you can send an example of that. Yes, please do. I would love to see. Oh, here's your art. Let me have a look, Megalomaniac. Let me have a look. Oh, actually, Maglo, I have seen this before. Have you shared it somewhere on Discord? Because I feel like I have definitely seen this work before. This is way too familiar. I am sure you've got it. You had to have shared it on Discord. Especially like the koi one. I remember seeing that. You're in a few groups. Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've seen it. And I think I commented that I really, really like that one. I love your Pikachu. It's so cute. I love that the electricity is coming out of his cheeks. It's so cute. This is beautiful artwork. You should be proud. I can tell you're definitely into Pokemon. Do you play Pokemon Go? So little bro, why is a white yak not good? White and shiny like a blanket. Exactly. A beautiful, warm, snuggly blanket. Seals are fish dogs, that's just a fact of life. There's no debate. Exactly. They're like the dogs of the ocean. I completely agree. I really would like to see a real life seal at one point. Apparently they're also very smelly. But I don't know, is that just their living conditions? Most likely just is. Hello, Hellmockery! How are you doing? Not into Pokemon Go. When you finally got a smartphone, lockdown happened, so you couldn't see your friends, and that would have been why you'd play it. Okay, gotcha. Hello, Captain Johnny. How are you doing? Is your name by any chance related to the movie The Shining? You're not good with names. Oh, you meant Whitey as a name, but it's not good. I get it, I get it. That's alright, little bro. That's alright. Sometimes the simpler names are actually the most catchy, you never know. You do play on 3DS and Switch though. Okay, I don't have either. Seals definitely reek of fish. Like, I'm guessing rotten fish though. Seals are also referred to as water doggos. Exactly, yeah. Exactly. You see so many illustrators on here, but not that many animators. Perhaps there's a reason. Yeah, that's a good question. Sendo, I actually can do a shout out for one of my favorite animators who unfortunately doesn't really stream anymore, but maybe he will be back. But if you want to follow his little skits, you can. He does have, I think he has a Patreon, or he has some kind of platform that you can support him on and get access. But let me just quickly have a look, because I think he's got an underscore or something in his name. Um, so yeah, he's got a it's called like a criminal, like a fly superhero character, and it's really, really cute. But he used to do his animations. So if you type in thecrimsonfly.com, that is a link to his website, and he does amazing animations. He still has a YouTube channel as well. So if you want to follow him there, you can. Let me just quickly grab a link to his Twitch as well. But yeah, obviously, as I said, he doesn't really stream right now, so that is unfortunate. But maybe, you never know, in the future he might. Why can I not? For some reason, it is just going to a host page, and it's not actually letting me see his stream. But I can type it in the chat for you guys. There you go. So that is a link to his Twitch stream. And so yeah, he used to do a lot of animations, and it was so awesome watching his process. I think because, you know, because animation is such a tedious process, a lot of people don't really do it. But I actually find usually the most tedious things are the things that are best to do on streams, because streaming sort of helps motivate you through that. So I don't know, that doesn't really make sense to me. You're doing good. Had a 3-day weekend. How was my weekend? Oh, Mockery, that is awesome. Did you have the Friday off or the Monday off? And why did you have off? Was it like just a random decision, or was it a special occasion? I actually had both a good weekend, both a really bad weekend. So the fun part of my weekend was that I played so many fun games with my friends, some of you guys on Discord. I've been playing Fallout with some of you guys, and it is so much fun. Really been enjoying that. The crap part of my weekend was that I started feeling extremely unwell on Sunday, and I wasn't even sure if I'd be able to stream today, but luckily I'm feeling much better. So I'm really happy, because I really, really wanted to work on my yak today, and you know, I didn't want to put it off even longer. So yeah, I'm really, really grateful that I was able to, you know, get into streaming again today and be able to get back at it. We do talk a lot about animations from time to time. Which style is your favorite? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we had a lot of conversations in the past month about animation. And you know, just discussing all our favorite TV shows when we were kids, delving into nostalgia, so we're definitely happy to discuss that here. Unfortunately, I have done a lot of animation at uni, but it's very time consuming, and it's not really where my passion lies, so, you know, it's not really something that I'm looking to do on streams anytime soon. But I'm definitely keen at some point to animate like 1 or 2 of my characters, so there is a possibility. There's definitely a possibility that I might actually do that. Won't be anything elaborate though, it's just gonna be something like character twirling or character jumping or dancing, so it's not gonna be like a skit or anything. That takes too much time, and I'd rather spend that painting, you know? Because painting is also extremely time consuming, and if I have time to spare, I would much rather spend it on painting. You just needed a break, so gave your Sunday shift away. That is awesome. I'm glad you got to have a break. So do you work mostly weekends, or do you usually have days off in the middle of the week, or how does that work? See you, Megalomaniac. Thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you for rating us. That was so sweet of you. Your art is beautiful. Lovely to see that. Glad I'm feeling better. So my false visual. I am so happy. Um, yeah, I was literally thinking yesterday that there would be no stream today and I wouldn't even be able to work on any drawing, but I started feeling a lot better in the evening, so. It's actually getting so nice and warm in here today. Like, the sun is out. It's such a different week. Like, I'm actually starting to overheat because it is so nice and warm. And I'm so happy because last week was crazy. It was so cold. No matter how much I rugged up, it would just stay freezing all the time. And I actually ordered myself a little space heater for this room for that specific reason, but at the moment, I don't think I'm really gonna need it, you know? You have the Thursday off as well this week, so another 3-day weekend. That's awesome! You're gonna have a really good rest after this. So what are you planning to do on the weekend? Are you gonna play some games, or are you gonna go somewhere special? Usually I find it most relaxing, like when I want to get a good rest, to just stay home, you know, stay home and do something that I like drawing or playing video games. Now that I'm arting full time, it's usually playing video games because I tend to create art all week, and so, you know, on the weekends I try to, you know, do something relaxing. Spend some time with family and things like that. It is time consuming, but something about seeing your drawing move is compelling to you. That is so true, yeah. It's like another level of, I don't know, the character's realism coming to life. And I love that. I really do. It is really worth it. I feel like if you stick to animating, um, and you know it is what you like, it can be so worth it and so rewarding. Definitely something I wish I had more patience for. But, you know, it just takes up so much of my time and I'd rather spend it doing oil painting. You posted to Twitter tagging me with an example of the artwork in a floating frame. Well, thank you, Lightboard. I'll see if I can have a look now. Um, Do you have Discord as well, Lightboard? I noticed you're in there, but do you have it still installed? Let me have a look at the frame. So here's an example of the piece floating in the frame. Artist is Matt Breyer, and it is on wood where the natural wood grain is used in the composition. That is beautiful. So what I was talking about is actually entirely different from this. Guys, have a look at what Lightboard just shared. That is one beautiful way of framing a piece of art. So yeah, what I was talking about is entirely different from this, but this is yet another beautiful way, and it's spectacular. I feel like it really suits this piece as well. It's so beautiful. See you, little bro. Hope you have a nice day. You work Sunday to Thursday. Okay. Probably just hang out with some friends and go to the gym, watch a bunch of movies. That sounds awesome. Really hope you enjoy yourself. Just gotta get through the long week, right? Feels like a grind when you're in it, but it doesn't last forever. That's really neat. It is. It really is. Yeah, you have it installed. That is super nice. Are you familiar with YouTube channel called Corridor Crew? They deal mostly with CGI related stuff, but they do talk about animation. You discovered a lot through them about how things work. Yeah, well, I feel like 2D animation and 3D animation, they have a lot of similarities, but you know, obviously 2D animation requires a very hands-on approach to the line work and everything. And I particularly enjoy that a ton more than 3D animation. I've obviously not done 3D animation, so I can't say that I'm the most experienced person to ask. But yeah, it's just, you know, because in 2D animation you have to literally draw every single line and handle all the motion yourself. I like that. You know, I really like that aspect of it, how much the artist is in control of everything. It's beautiful. You enjoy collecting. Collecting art is such an addiction though. Like, I have a whole list of things pinned to my Etsy wish list that, I really want to get and I can't choose. There are so many things I want to get from artists. And it's just, once you start, it's like you cannot stop. There is so much you keep wanting. Yeah. And also, it feels so good buying from artists because, you realize that it's not some big corporate company, you're actually supporting an individual who is putting a lot of time and a lot of effort into their talent and their career and their craft. So it feels good. It feels good to support that. And so I almost don't feel guilty for purchasing from an artist because it kind of feels like donating to a charity at times, but still getting this amazing piece of art. And I don't know, it's so rewarding. It really just is. Also, Jake Parker is amazing. I love his illustrations. He is so good. They have guests in their episodes and delve into discussions on different styles and content. Worthwhile stuff. Okay. You made it to the stream only about an hour late, but you're here. How is everyone? Well, welcome to the stream, Moonlit here. You are not too late, don't worry. I love that alien emote. Where is that from? Really, really love it. But yeah, we are currently making some progress on my beautiful yak. I'm hoping to make the fur look a little bit more realistic, just get some more lines in here. Hopefully it drapes beautifully. So yeah, just trying to make it look a little bit more believable. That's what we're doing today. And then probably tomorrow I can start on the water, I can start on the girl. We'll see how we go. A 1,000 years? What is that? You love the yak's embellishments. Thank you, thank you. I think I'm gonna give the yak probably like a pink eye or something to make sure it looks like properly albino, but I haven't entirely decided just yet. Me too. You made it to the stream, only about an hour late. You love the yak's embellishments. Do I have any of my original artwork for sale? Not at this point, False Visual. Realistically, probably the only current way that I would give out originals, just because at this stage I'm just currently curating more of a portfolio and trying to still scan in a bunch of my work. But doing a commission, I would be more than happy to, just hand over an original. But for the time being, it's really just prints only. I am so lazy to scan stuff. I really need to get around to it properly. You were wondering, did we finish the Humpty Dumpty book? You missed some streams. No, we haven't. I've put a bit of a halt on Humpty Dumpty. I should get back into working on him next week. But yeah, realistically, I'm really keen to start the watercolor painting, but I just need to save up some more money currently before I can buy the large spreads of watercolor that I can, you know, paint Humpty on. So because I did Humpty on A3 sheets, I need to buy A2 sheets so Humpty can fit properly. And that is, yeah, that's unfortunately quite expensive because they limit me to buying 10, and that ups the price quite a lot if you're buying watercolor, like in 10 sheets of watercolor paper. So yeah, it's gonna be a struggle, but I will get there. And once I have that, I'm going to start coloring my first Humpty spread. So that'll be super exciting. I cannot wait for that. You can't wait. Neither can I. Neither can I. You guess he's left broken for the time being. Yeah, so currently Humpty is not in a great place. So we'll just leave him there for now, you know, to contemplate the wrongdoings of his decisions. Hopefully, you know, having some time to realize what he did wrong will be helpful for his future, you know? We're letting it sink in, and then eventually we'll help him out of his hole. I actually found out about like an interesting, I don't know if it's called a condition, but just an interesting fact the other day. And I found out that some people have what's called aphantasia, where they actually cannot imagine something visually, like in their heads. If they think of a memory or they think of like basically something they're familiar with, like a cow or a dog or whatever, they are not able to visually see it in their imagination. And like it's really hard for me to imagine that. Like how can you not? How can you be incapable of seeing that thing in your head? But you know, some people really do, and apparently there are different levels of what people can experience. Like some people can actually see a lot in their imagination, other people cannot. I didn't know about that, you know? I really wasn't aware. So apparently, if you can't see any, like if you can't see or visualize anything in your head, um, you have aphantasia. And apparently, if you are really good at imagining something in your head, you have hyperphantasia. So, yeah, so people who have hyperphantasia can like their imagination can almost feel like real, like they can pretty much almost smell it, almost touch it, like completely visualize it, all the shadows, all the highlights, everything in it, and it's completely real. It's so interesting. I feel like as an artist, not actually like not having that ability would make it so hard, especially if you're trying to not draw like a reference. You're trying to make something look different. So how do you visualize that? You know, that would make it extremely hard. And I actually met an artist here on Twitch who says she has that, and she says how she has to rely really heavily on references. I cannot imagine how difficult that must be. Like trying to still be an artist and creating with that struggle, that's admirable. That's dedication, you know, and that's commitment. Yeah, you know someone like that. You're basically the opposite, where you're hyper the other way. So you're hyperphantasic or whatever. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm like, yeah, pretty much something can be completely real for me, even if it's just in my head. A friend of yours has that. It creates a lot of conversations about his. You think of things and perceive things as well. So how exactly, what kind of conversations are you meaning near perfection? Melissa, how are you? How has your weekend been? Props to that artist. Exactly, Dover, exactly. I feel like, yeah, people who try to like conquer their inabilities or struggles or things that they know are hard for them, yeah, that's really admirable. Like, she keeps trying to make art and practicing and improving despite knowing she has this essentially what she feels, she coined it as an impediment to her. She really does feel like it holds her back. So, yeah. And she keeps going. Keeps going, keeps trying. So I feel like if she can do that, I should be able to be better at maths, you know? She's pushing through her hard thing, I can too. That's so inspiring. I'm not even exactly bad at maths. I just literally hate it. It's like, my whole brain freezes as soon as I have to do something mathematical, and I'm like, it's not even hard. I know how to do this. It's just, I don't trust myself. It's going well. You all packed up and ready to move tomorrow. Move? Hang on, you're moving? Where are you moving to? All kinds of things in everyday life, such as how does he get places? Other people visualize the directions and turns. He apparently thinks of a list and remembers landmarks as words. Wow. I did not even think about that. So, like, yeah, I guess other people would be able to remember, like, what things are around in their environment and, like, patchwork those things in order to make, like, a map. But yeah, he wouldn't be able to. That is so interesting. No maths allowed here. Thanks for the reminder, Dover. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, you're just moving like 10 minutes away from your current apartment. Are you moving like by yourself or with a friend? That seems awesome. Do you like the new place a lot? What is it like? But yeah, apparently people who are aphantasic also don't dream in the same way. So I don't know if you talked to your friend about that near perfection, but yeah, apparently they don't dream in the same way either. And I find that interesting. So like how, I don't know if all normal people do, but like most people, I think, you know, obviously can see things in their dreams and have it be pretty vivid and pretty real and detailed. And people who are hyperphantasic apparently sometimes can only really dream when they're awake at times. I find that odd. That's very interesting. So, like, imagine not knowing that, you know, you are kind of like that. And, you know, back in the day, they probably didn't know about these things. And, well, I mean, I didn't know about these things. And, yeah, not knowing that you see and perceive things differently. But you do. I feel like so many of us have different ways of experiencing the world. And, you know, at times it can be so tricky to understand each other, but it's because we all go through life so differently and yet so similarly as well. Ah, you'll be moving in with your best friend. You really love the new place. The area is pretty nice, and there are 2 pools and a gym on the property. That's awesome. I guess right now you're really wishing you were already moved in. so you could take advantage of that pool, because I heard it's pretty hot in America. Dreams, yeah, you have them almost every day. You are a stream of consciousness. Exactly. Exactly. I think therefore I am, right? I really love that Billie Eilish song. There, I think it's just called Therefore I Am. Really love that song. I love the lyrics. You talked about that too. He doesn't dream often, but really likes when he does, and generally thinks that's as close as an imagination as he would get. He didn't know other people could see things in their mind until he was 27, you think? That's crazy. Yeah, that's so crazy. Yeah, with those crazy cicadas finally gone here in the northeast US, you can enjoy some summer fun. So what was the deal with all those cicadas? Because I saw a lot of people posting them, and also noting how apparently they're very endangered, but then how are there so many? I'm confused. It's nuts. He thought visualize it in your mind's eye was just an expression, and didn't realize people could actually see things. Yeah, exactly. That must be like, imagine for him, like trying to understand that, or imagine what that's like. Like, that would be near impossible. I don't think he can even grasp what that feels like. But apparently, they say it can be both a gift and a disability. Like, you know, obviously there are both advantages and disadvantages. Like sometimes seeing a thing in your mind's eye can obstruct some, can like stop you from seeing something in a way that really helps you understand it. And so apparently people who are aphantasic can actually see those things, like get through those things a lot better, because they don't have that image in their head construing what they're trying to do or think of, and they see and think about things in a different way. And similarly, being hyperphantasic, where you can actually see things in your mind's eye, has the added advantage of like obviously art being a lot easier. You can remember things a lot easier. So there's definitely advantages to both. And I think it sort of blends into like the emotional side of life as well. Obviously people who can remember memories so vividly are going to, struggle to get over a thing as easily. And, sometimes there are memories that you don't want to have. So forgetting them is a lot better. And so I think people who are aphantasic actually kind of have an advantage in that sense, that they're not able to still keep seeing it. So I think there's benefits and disadvantages to both. But yeah, it was so interesting when I found out about that. It's crazy. This song reminds you of the spectral realm from Pac-Man World 3. Okay. Can't say that I'm familiar with that. You don't know about endangered, but they pop up every 17 years, reproduce for a month, then die. They make a lot of noise, and fly around like drunk drivers. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just saw a lot of people saying how we had to try and preserve like the species, that it was like being endangered and at risk of going extinct. So I don't know, maybe it's just some species and not all of them. That's really strange that it only happens every 17 years. That's interesting. Oh, that yak fur coat looks so soft and amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Kishnobi. You hit many of them driving across Pennsylvania last week. I can imagine like driving through a bunch of those. Your dash would just be completely mucky afterwards. Now, does this white yak have any special powers? So, essentially, he's like a magical unicorn. He can heal, he can like see the future, he can basically do a lot of things. He can also read your mind. So, you have to be really careful not to lie to him because he knows everything. And basically, if he lets you pat his nose, and you can also ask him for advice, like what to do. He doesn't tell you your future, but he tells you what you should be doing, or if you're doing something really wrong. He's a very helpful yak. But yeah, he mostly only communicates with little kids. So if you're an adult, you have to be a very nice person, otherwise he won't see you. The babies should emerge in July, and then they burrow in the ground and drink on the roots for 17 years. Oh my goodness, that is forever. I don't get why they have such long cycles. There are also different cicada broods in different regions of the US, so it doesn't seem like 17 years between them. Okay, yeah. Memories are such a funny thing. Had a previous relationship, you would think you remember the good and the bad times, but it's always those seemingly meaningless or inconsequential days you cling onto. Some idle Monday sticks out. I know, right, Kavasok? It's like, at times, it's the most meaningless thing that just comes into your head like deja vu, and you're like, why on earth am I thinking this, you know? Why has this come into my head? Wise boy, exactly, dirty bush chicken. That is one cool name. You mean Artie's healing, so the yak is already doing the magic. Well, glad he is. I'm glad he is. You're welcome to ask him about your future, by the way. Feel free to do so. If it makes me feel any better about the weather, this whole week you are experiencing a record-breaking heat wave. Okay, well, I'm very happy for you, but I envy you. I really, really do. Do we not get cicadas in my area of Australia? We do, we do. We have a lot of cicadas. I just never knew they had such long, like, cycles. And, well, I didn't actually think they were endangered for a very long time, but we don't have massive outbreaks of them, I guess, like you guys seem to have in the States. They're just always around, especially in summer. And so you can, pretty much on hot days, you can always hear them. But yeah, I can't say that I ever knew that they suck on roots and that's how they live. So. Yeah, here in Maryland, you get them every summer. But those summer broods are pretty chill. The 17-year guys are like a biblical plague in numbers. Okay, so probably different kinds then. Maybe it's the 17-year guys that are the endangered ones, because I was never aware that cicadas are endangered at all. Yak will change your actions as an animator. Yak, will your actions as an animator ever pan out? You need something to cling onto, and that's not limited to your fur. Well, I think the yak reckons that you need to be content with his fur. He is very, very offended that you would say something like that animation should be more important than his fur. But nonetheless, he grants you a wish, and he says that you will indeed become an animator one day. But he says that the first thing you will have to animate in order to be successful is going to have to be yak fur, and plenty of it. Otherwise, he says, your dream will not succeed. Can I talk this easily in front of people out in the world, or is it easier here now because of the disconnect with text and not seeing people I talk to? To be honest, for me in real life, it's exactly the same. I don't know, like there are days where I'm just not into it. Like I cancel stream days on those days because I cannot, I just don't want to be around people on some days. So it's not really a thing that, is easier for me online because I don't see you guys. I feel like if you guys were all sitting around me in real life, it would probably be, it would actually be in some ways more fun because we would all feel more connected, I think. But yeah, no, I never really struggled with that, which is kind of strange because I was homeschooled. So growing up, we didn't actually have a lot of people, we didn't have a lot of friends, and I didn't really get a lot of exposure, not many opportunities to talk to people when I was a lot younger. So most of my friends were online, and I don't know, maybe like growing up and having that sort of disconnect helped. I don't know. But yeah, once I went to uni, I wasn't shy at all. I wasn't really struggling talking to people. I think the biggest struggle with streaming, to be honest, used to be, I guess, knowing what to talk about. Like, obviously, there's a ton of things I could say, but I didn't know what kind of content people would want to see on my streams. And I think at first, yeah, being able to talk for a couple of hours constantly wasn't the simplest thing, it wasn't the easiest thing always. And definitely I would go through some lulls where I don't know what to say. But that's just very different. That's more of a streaming thing, I think, than not being comfortable around people. It's more of a, knowing what kind of conversations to bring up. And I feel like that's something that just goes away with time. Lots of streaming, lots of, being used to being online. And even now, like if I take a long break from streaming and I come back to it, I still feel like, I internalize my thoughts, whereas when you're streaming, you sort of have to kind of say what you're thinking as well. You don't just internalize it all. So it's kind of taking down that filter to an extent, I think. Let me guess, I'm Pacific Coast as well. Oh, Kishinobi's Pacific Coast. That's fair, about the same then. This heat wave is the worst, it's not great. I don't know, I envy you guys. It's awesome, I love the heat. The Yak's special powers place your hand on his head and you experience a flurry of images showing your future. You might think, wow, that's cool, but then it comes at a price and you never know what that could be. Exactly. It really does, Doma. Well said. The first thing you'll have to animate is your passion. Exactly, Dirty Bush Chicken. Your biggest passion. A need for Steve. Thank you so much for that raid. Really appreciate that. Please drop a link to your socials, Steve. I would love to have another look to see what you've been up to. Drop a link to your Instagram. Guys, Steve regularly raids us and is one of our biggest supporters. Please go check him out. His link is right over there to the left or in chat if you want to drop a link. And drop him a follow. No worries, Lightboard. I hope you have a good rest. Thank you again so much for that donation to the camera the other day. Really appreciate that. Artadira, thank you for the follow. The 17-year ones are called Brood X. They don't appear to be endangered, but they are going extinct in certain states. Okay, gotcha. You are nothing more than a stranger on the internet. Aren't we all though? Aren't we all though, Sendo? But this year's brood was apparently the largest yet. The last time they came, it was like 12. It was horrifying. It was like 12. What do you mean? 12 what? Hence why you haven't hit the live button yet. Hang on, why haven't you hit the live button yet, False Visual? You don't know what to talk about, or what's the thing that feels most difficult to you? I feel like once you build a solid Twitch community, you always have something to talk about. That's also very true, Kishinobi. Like last year, when I was starting to stream, I had to basically create a lot more conversations that I need to now. Like, now you guys come in here, talk about cicadas with me, you know? Talk about your weekends with me, bring in new conversations. And so it's not as hard for a streamer that already has a community to have to constantly think about new topics. So I feel like something that's really helpful, if it is really daunting to you, and that is something that scares you, is try to get like maybe 2 to 3 friends to hop on and watch your stream and just like keep the conversations going. Like, ask those friends, hey, can you like, if there's a lull in the conversation, can you please, you know, bring up something cool or have a list of conversations that you can talk about? And I think that would definitely be my piece of advice to people starting out a new stream. It's not something I did, but in hindsight, I think that would really have helped, you know, having just a couple of supportive friends. Not only are you going to feel more comfortable because, you know, your friends are there watching you and it feels more like a hangout session than a live performance, if you know what I mean, which it really isn't a live performance. Streaming is much more hanging out with a group of friends than live performing. Unless you're like a musician, obviously, then that is totally different. But art streams, I feel, it's more like being at university or art school and just talking to a group of friends and you just happen to be the only one that's, you know, on live video. But it's really no different from that. So Steve, please tell us what you were working on. as soon as you're in a situation where you might be being perceived by another person, your ability to use your brain disappears, and then it's basically time to wing it and hope it works out. I understand. Yeah, that seems to be a common thing that people tell me, you know, is like as soon as they feel judged, they're not comfortable anymore. And I suppose I'm kind of lucky in the sense that I never really feel that way. I don't know if this is because maybe I'm not scared to feel stupid, or I already think of myself that way. Who knows? I don't know. I've never really thought much about it, but yeah, it's something that I know some of my friends have talked about feeling and saying that, you know, they're really worried that as soon as they're starting to feel that, how it's gonna be. Whereas for me, the biggest struggle is always, you know, trying to keep momentum going in the conversation, not really that emotional factor. I feel like the emotional factor of being shy on a stream is something entirely different and probably much harder to overcome because it's very tied down into, you know, if you don't feel comfortable on a stream, it's hard for you to have fun. And when you don't have fun, I feel like other people don't either. So, like, sometimes there are days when I've just had a bad day, or, you know, I'm not really feeling it, so I'll cancel a stream because, you know, what's the point? If you're not going to enjoy it, other people won't either, and what's the point? It's about having fun, you know. So, obviously at the start, it's really difficult to have fun when all you feel is scared and shy and all of that, I know, but I feel like having a group of supportive friends to sort of make you feel like you're comfortable really, really helps. Or would help. I would think they do. So sometimes what I like to do, particularly, is I like to go to smaller streamers and hang out in their streams. And if I notice that there's maybe a lull in conversation, or notice that the person seems to be a little bit nervous, I like to bring up some kind of conversation to keep the chat going. And I really enjoy just, you know, seeing that person go from feeling a little bit more, you know, sometimes even myself, sometimes I'll have a bad day and it's really, really hard to, you know, get out of your own head. And so it's really helpful when other people can, you know, just talk about their life, talk about their, you know, experiences, talk about their art, all those kinds of things. So I like to help other people out in the same way when I go to their streams. I don't know. I like to make other people's lives easier too. Because as a streamer, I understand what that's like. But yeah, I feel like we all have our good days and our bad days. And some days you might hop onto a stream and you will just feel like it's so easy, you know? It is so easy for you to just talk and you know, be in the moment and really get into your piece of art. Also, that's another thing. With art streams, I feel like what you're creating has such a huge impact on what your stream is going to be like. Because if you're not happy with your piece of work, it's going to be in your head and you're going to swim in all that negativity and self-doubt, and that really can mess you up. So maybe, you know, if you're working on a piece that's not working out for you, start a new drawing. You know, and do that other drawing off stream. Don't quit it, but do it off stream where you don't feel as judged or as rushed or distracted. Hello, Mrs. Max Knife, how are you? I can check all your stuff at aneedforsteve.com. Okay, let me have a look. I've never been to your website before. I really love that word intro. It just sort of pops into your face. Love it. Did you draw this illustration of yourself? I like all the outfits. So guys, I'm just checking out aneedforsteve.com, so that's his website. And in the bio section, it looks like a picture of himself that he's illustrated, but they all wear different kinds of clothing and it's so cool. Let me have a look at the gallery. I've already seen a ton of your work, Steve, but always love going over it. So we've got about 4 pieces here. Oh no, we've got a ton more. I didn't notice the arrow. These are so amazing. It looks so awesome. What would you say your favorite medium is, Steve? Like, if you had to choose one thing. Oh, you said it was 12 years ago, you mean? Gotcha. You're going to calm down after a really fun stream. See you there, no worries. You're more of a listener and internalize a lot, so speaking for a long amount of time seems draining. Oh, it is false visual. And you will hear this from every streamer, especially art streamers, because as art streamers, you have to both talk for a very long time, and you have to be creating a piece of art for a very long time, both which are very, you know, mind-taxing activities. Especially if you are very introverted, you know, talking to people doesn't come naturally. And, you know, like, people often tell me, you know, I'm very, very sociable, but I'm actually very introverted. So, after a long stream, I'm actually exhausted. Like, there have been times when I've done a very long stream where I will finish a stream and I just want to go sleep. I am so tired. So I don't think that's abnormal at all. I've heard a lot of people say that it is very tiring. So, and that doesn't mean you don't have fun, you know, it can still mean you have a lot of fun. But it's still a very, you know, creating art is fun, but it's still a very mind-taxing activity, especially if you're really pushing yourself and creating cool things. So, since an art stream is doing both of those, you are going to be very tired after that. But I feel like it's an incredible experience to be able to have your own little community to share art with, you know, raid other streamers. All of it is so special. That's good advice about conversations. Glad to hear, glad to hear. Hello, Flat Rabbit. How are you doing? I hope you're well. How is Charlie? Popping in for a bit before you go to bed. I hope you are giving Charlie lots of hugs from me. We were just building a Sims 4 village for our Discord community. So are you creating like your actual viewers, like a sim person for the viewer? You worry that if you have technical difficulties live on stream, you will simply be unable to solve it due to the whole brain dead phenomenon. It happens, Dirty Bush Chicken, it really does, and I think the way to go about it is just to sort of experience it with your community. Like, imagine if you had someone sitting beside you, right? What would you say to them if that were happening? You would like maybe be like, oh, this really sucks, you know, how can we fix this? So your community really cares about you, and your community is going to, you know, wish the best for you to get that sorted, obviously. And I know it's very overwhelming when you are the only technical person who can do anything about it in that situation, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming. You know, you can hit the be right back button and ask your viewers to just wait a minute while you figure things out. Sometimes you do actually have to stop a stream because the computer doesn't want to work until it gets restarted, so... But people wait, you know, people are willing to wait around and you know, come back later, check it out again. So it's nothing to be stressed over. And you know, if one stream goes bad, there's always the next time. It doesn't mean you as a streamer are bad. It just means some days are just not good days. Consistency is hard for you. Ah, yeah. You know, Sasaki, I struggled a ton with being consistent, and one of the biggest things that helped me with that is choosing a time that doesn't stop me from going to bed early, and also choosing a time when I am most fresh and I'm not really looking to do anything else. Otherwise, I always go and think, well, I'd rather be doing this right now, or, you know, I should be going to bed, or like I'd get raided and it would be like 1 a.m. and people would love to watch more of the stream, right? And so I wouldn't want to keep going because I want to go to bed. So streaming during the daytime really, really helped me be a ton more consistent. And I always tell people when they struggle to be consistent, try and find a time that works best for you when you feel like you want to be alone, and like obviously alone as in not with other people in real life. Pick a time that's convenient and not going to interfere with other aspects of your life. Because that worked best for me. And ever since I changed my schedule, it's a lot easier for me to be consistent. And some people stream best late at night, other people stream better during the day. It was very odd for me because I am more of a night owl. But I found that streaming during the daytime was actually a ton better for me. And I think it's just because, you know, I don't know. During the daytime, I'm a lot more fresh than late at night. And at night, I like to play games with some of you guys. And I like to just hang out, be free, not have to worry about when I go to sleep. I also need to schedule my Instagram posts at night, so it doesn't leave me with a ton of time. So yeah, just learning how to manage every aspect of, your art life essentially really, really helps. It is rewarding, isn't it? Yeah. You like my mechanical pencil? Thank you. Thank you, Adadira. This is actually a pencil by Mabgraves. So it's made by Draftmatic, but it was a limited edition, and I have I have three. So I have a pink one, a purple one, and this beautiful blue. But yeah, she doesn't sell these anymore, so if you happen to find them on like eBay or something, that's the only place where you're still gonna get them, because they were limited edition, and they were sold through her Etsy store as a collab between her and the Draftmatic company. But yeah, I love these pencils because a lot of pencils that you get from like Officeworks or different office supply stores, they go wobbly. Like the lead inside goes so wobbly. This one never does. It is so sturdy, and the other nice thing is you can put whatever kind of lead you want into here, and you can change it to say F, HB, 2H, so it can be filled with whatever kind of lead, and you can switch it here to basically be whatever you want it to be. I think that's a pretty cool design. The only thing that halts you from streaming is that it would deteriorate your mental health. You'd be less connected with your present world. How so, Sender? Why do you feel that? What aspect of it would make you feel less connected with your present world? Abituni, hello, how are you? Thank you so much for the follow. I'm so sorry I didn't notice that. I am so behind on the chat. Alex, how are you? Glad to have you here. He's good. You had a good snuggles tonight, just lying down with one of your older bunny girls as she sleeps on the bed at night. That is so cute. So, so cute. Long gone are the days of streaming during vampiric hours. Exactly, Dova, exactly. Like, I was considering on Sunday joining a raid train. I'm so glad I didn't, because on Sunday I ended up feeling awful. So it would have worked out terribly if I had signed up to it. But I wanted to join a raid train, which either would have had me streaming at 4:30 on Sunday night, or on 8:30 in the morning. which if I hadn't had a lot of sleep, that would have gone interesting. But luckily I decided not to, and I joined a different raid train. So I'm gonna be on 2 raid trains. There's one in July, and then I will join another one in August. So I think the one in July is on the 11th, and the one in August is on the last weekend. So I'm pretty sure it's on the 29th. And that would be in PST time, or Pacific time. But yeah, that'll be my first raid train that I'm joining in on with other artists, and that'll be super cool. I am so excited for that. So we'll see how that goes, but I am super excited. So we still need to create some artist cards and different advertising things for that. I haven't gotten around to sending through all of the information yet. Luckily it's a while away, so not too much of a rush. But we will get there, you know, we will. You're pretty good. How am I? I'm doing a lot better, Alex. I was feeling awful on Sunday, so I didn't know if I would be able to stream today, but I am feeling a ton better. So really happy because now I get to actually make so much progress on my beautiful yak, so I'm glad. It's okay, you were browsing through the art streamers and saw graphite. You are suckered for traditional art. Oof. What kind of art do you make then, hang on. Abitonoli? I hope I'm saying that correctly. You think it's the fact that you just don't have a whole lot of activities to do outside of the house. Drawing late at night is your reprieve, but somehow you wonder if something is wrong with you. I don't think anything's wrong with you, Sendo. I don't think anyone needs to feel they have to chase this norm that society asks them or expects of them to be. And hey, you know, if you're happy, as long as you are happy, there's nothing wrong with keeping doing the things that maybe are unhealthy but make you happy. The whole point is at least being happy. You know, what might be great for one person is not the same for another. So if you're a homebody and you like to be, you know, doing what you love late at night by yourself, that's fine. Don't feel like you have to have a million friends or you have to fulfill this expectation that society says is healthy. Who cares about society, you know? Just be you, do you, and make yourself happy. You paint a lot, but you've been sketching a lot. There's an art walk happening in a few weeks, so you've been painting and drawing a lot. What do you mean an art walk? What exactly is an art walk? If you would like to join the Discord, Abitonoli, we actually have a Discord, and we'll drop a link. Hopefully this link works. It didn't last time. There we go. Join our Discord and basically share some of your artwork with us, you know? That's totally up to you if you'd like to, but all of us like to keep in touch off the stream. We like to share some jokes during the week. We like to just keep in touch. So, you know, I love to see what you guys are up to. You're capable of making extraordinary things for sure. I'm sure you are. And we would love to see some of those extraordinary things then, though. You don't think the staying up late necessarily is wrong. For you, you just don't have as strong social connections. And I think that's totally fine, you know? I don't think you need any friends if that's not what makes you happy. You know, I feel like at best, you know, having a few close friends is probably what most people, or some people who aren't very sociable don't want a lot of friends, and like maybe one or two very close friends are all they need to invest in, or maybe your family is all that you need. We don't have a lot of time in modern society, and I feel like there's all this pressure on how you should be living and what you should be doing in order to be normal and healthy, and hey, who cares? Everybody's gonna go the same route anyways. At least just be happy. Besides, who really knows whether society actually knows what's the right thing to do? They all just like to, proclaim this and that, and the next day we find out a new technology or a new piece of research, and then we realize, hey, that was never true. That never held any weight before, and people did it for millions of years. Like, people used to tap blood from people who used to be sick. And now we know that that's actually really, really unhealthy for people, especially when they are sick. It's not great. And we only know as much as society really studies and discovers, and there's a limit to that. So when it comes to human psychology and knowing how to run your life, I feel like it's even more complex than medicine. No one really knows anything, so who are other people to say to you, you should be more healthy, you should be more outgoing, you should be doing more of this and that? Yeah, I don't feel like they have a clue what they're talking about, so you might be more knowledgeable than they. My words have a healing power. I'm definitely a person with knowing. Oh, thank you, Sendo. Thank you. I'm only doing me, though, so I'm only living my life the way I want to, so I'm not really giving you specific advice how to run yours. Just saying, just be happy. I really love his little ear. His ear is so cute. I kind of wish I could have every kind of animal as a pet sometimes. And it was funny? On the weekend, my brother said to me, it's really important to believe in your dreams. No matter how crazy your dream is, you gotta hold on to it and you gotta keep pursuing it. And I said to him, well, you wanna know what's one of my dreams? Is to have a pet hippo. And he was like, okay, yeah, ditch that. So clearly his little theory didn't hold much weight for very long. But he didn't want to support my dream to have a hippo. I was so crushed. I was completely crushed. Imagine how cute that would be. Even just like a mini one, I just want a mini one. Can you share your art? An art walk is just an artist able to sell art at a pop store. You're trying to make a lot so you can sell some. Yeah, please go ahead and share your art. I've dropped a link to Discord. I will drop it again. Post your art in Discord and we will have a look. You know what? You think you'll drop a link to your animation in the art Discord. If you can get an outsider's opinion, then that could mean something. Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely do. We have way too few animators in Discord, and yeah, I'm really, really keen to see some more animations. Social constructs are not meant to be taken seriously. Exactly. And hey, I'm guessing, and I'm pretty sure I have a really good guess, that a bunch of you guys here are weirdos like myself. And, I feel like weirdos can be the best people to hang out with. So, keep being weird. Keep being you. Because there's way too few of us. You agree, exactly. You're the weird seal guy. We'll always remember you as the weird seal guy, Sendo. We also have the Florida man in our Discord, so, you know, we've got a couple of weirdos going already. I knew I was gonna get really bogged down on the fur today because there is so much detail you can add to fur to make it realistic, and I always get stuck just continually going over and over it, and well, I do think I'm making progress, you know, I really do, I believe it. But sometimes you can be like, am I making any progress at all? Am I doing anything here? Sasaki, hello, how are you? Have you had a stream recently? Welcome to Wonderland. You feel free to introduce yourself. We're all mad here. Exactly. You believe destiny brought us all here, brought you here to hear my words, at the cogs of the fate turn. I am so glad, Sendo. I'm so glad. I really feel like if I can at least help one person feel more at ease with who they are every day, then I've achieved something, you know? Achieved something really good. Yeah, I really think we're all so hard on ourselves sometimes. You know, life is rough. Life is really hard. There are tons and tons of things we're expected to be good at and expected to do, and there's so little time, you know? There's really so little time to do all these things. And you know what I found? Like, oftentimes people who say that they're very sociable and very, you know, they have all their life put together, they either, you know, I feel like it's kind of like those, I don't know if you've ever seen those student memes where you have these overlaps and you can't ever have your life perfect because you're either gonna overwork, have a great social life, but lack in the department where you're, you know, growing yourself, growing your passions, your interests, your hobbies, or you're gonna have no family time, lots of friend time. Maybe you slack off at work, but you really have a great sense of, you know, self-investment at home and great friendships. But I feel like we have too little time to be able to just be good at everything. And, you know, people who so often are very keen to judge and say, you know, this is the best way to live. If you look at their life, more often than not, they will be lacking in one area. And, you know, they're not entirely happy. They're just lacking in another area. So, they don't have it all together. No one does. Fur and fabric look hard to draw. To be honest, I find fabric a lot harder than fur. Because with fabric, if you get a fold wrong, it's really obvious. But with fur, you can kind of get away with, you know, covering it up with a little wisp here and there, or something doesn't always have to go straight. It can curve a little bit, and you don't necessarily see folds going wrong in the same way. So it's a lot easier. I will be right back, guys. My mum just got home, so give me one moment. Once or twice a week, you're trying to stay consistent, but it's been tough. Hang on, what did I miss? Is that how much you're drawing at the moment? We're glad you're here as a vibe to the stream. Do you remember to stretch, hydrate, and take care of yourself? Commands edit. Oh, you're editing the command. Sorry, Dover. I'm glad I got the commands working. You know what was wrong, Dover? I just went and turned off CloudBot and turned it back on in Streamlabs, and that fixed everything. I don't know why. It's so strange because nothing changed. I didn't touch anything. The bot was still an admin, so that wasn't it. I don't know. It just randomly, like all pieces of technology, decided to stop working. I'm really falling in love with these pieces of fur. It's so fun to draw. You got some cereal and milk from the finest cow. Oh, that is truly an honor. I'm sure he will be very pleased to offer some of his precious milk. Her precious milk, I guess I should say. I really do think fur has to be one of the most time-consuming things to draw that there ever could be. What was one of the most time-consuming drawings you guys have ever tackled? Yes, it is very strange. I don't know what caused it. But yeah, I was so stumped as to what went wrong. I was like, I don't know what to do other than like completely change my bot. Like maybe switch over to Stream Elements. But luckily I just switched that on and off and it worked again, so really saved me a lot of time. I was so happy. Oh man, it turned out so nice. Your first animation took a couple of months, so maybe a tiny bit time consuming. Okay. When you're talking about animation though, it has to be one of the most time consuming art forms that possibly could be. So, yeah. That is crazy. So what kinds of things do you animate? Do you do little skits or what's your thing? Do you animate people or animals or just your own made up characters? I guess I'll see once I hop onto Discord later and I get to see some of your work on there. But yeah, I'm really curious to have a look. Man, but it turned out so nice. You're in a 2-hour redrawing. A horn. Oh, is that for like Cody's challenge? I am really, really keen now to join that one, but I want to have a really cool concept. I think I have to, yeah. I have to, like, tonight, just think about something. I don't want to just draw something basic, like just a deer girl or something. I want to make her very cool. So, I'm gonna have a bit of a think about it, what I want to do. And I don't want to just go with your typical, like, horned person or whatever. Or I could do an animal. That's always another option. Doesn't even have to be human. But I do want to draw something strange, something out there and different and not expected. Because Cody's streams and Cody's prompts are always so forgiving for that kind of thing. You know, it leaves so much opportunity for you to do that. And that's what I really love about his challenges. They're so open to creativity. So guys, if you're not familiar with Cody, he's another art streamer here on Twitch. So his username is Cody Shibby, and he does really, really cool sort of pen and ink drawings, but also watercolor. It's amazing. You should definitely check him out. And every week, I think it's every week, right, Pulse Visual? So yeah, that Dover just did a shout out for Cody. So go check him out, give him a follow. We quite often raid him. So if you're very familiar with my streams, you know that he's one of our favorite places to raid. Mostly because, well, one, we love Cody, and two, his streams are like the perfect time. But apparently, he's mentioned that I tend to raid him whenever he wants to go raid someone else. So maybe we need to raid him a little bit sooner, you know. A little bit sooner next time. But yeah, Cody runs some drawing challenges almost every week. I think it's pretty much, every 2 weeks he does an art prompt. So, yeah, you guys really should join. I have done, so recently, I think it was 2 months ago, I joined his art prompt and I did this little girl for his eyeball prompt. And so it was a very fun prompt because Cody was counting how many eyeballs we would have in total for like all the prompts put together. And so if you guessed right, you could have won something, which is pretty interesting. So yeah. Hello, Dev! How are you? You made it! So happy to have you here. Oh, it's looking fantastic. Thanks, Casey. I'm glad you like it. Are you a traditional artist as well? Oh, Alanir, I'm so sorry. Thank you for that host. I don't know if our alerts are working. I haven't been noticing the pop-ups or, I've just not been hearing them. You love that one. I love that one too, and I can't wait to do an oil painting on that one. Cody lives in the same city as you, and you met him only recently. Like, met him online or in person? Imagine, like, seeing someone on a stream, and then actually, like, meeting them in real life and being like, hey, can I have your autograph? You're famous. Yeah, I would want Cody's autograph. Oh, you mean online? Like sometimes it amazes you that people are much closer than you think. Exactly, exactly. I've met a couple of people from Australia on Twitch that stream. Not many in my city though, but a couple of you guys are actually in my city as well, like devs from my city. And so, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool meeting you guys and knowing we live in the same place. You're Casey from Becca's stream, painting while watching you. Didn't I see one of your pieces of art on Discord, on Becca's Discord? I'm pretty sure I saw your artwork. And I think I commented on it. But yeah, so happy you're here from Becca's stream, Casey. Becca is so, so sweet, guys. You will not find a more sweet-hearted person on Twitch, a more loving and soul-warming person than her. She is beautiful. You have to check her out. So yeah, if you're not familiar with Becca, please check her out. You got an emergency alert one time and mentioned it on stream, and someone else got it too, meaning you were only 10 miles from the exact gas leak. Oh dear. Oh dear. Another all-nighter for you, chilling to Neka's art stream and begin working after that. No, Dover, you can't keep pulling all-nighters like that. Aoife, thank you so much for that raid. Oh my goodness. Thank you. What were you doing? Please share some of your art with us. Yes, you're doing the traditional Rose. She's such a good friend. She really, really is. She warms the hearts of so many. Definitely, definitely does. Hello, I hope everyone's having a lovely night. Please drop some links to your Instagram account or Twitter account or whatever you have if we would love to have a look at some of your work. Tonight you were working on a digital drawing of a pretty lady. Well, would you like to show us? We would love to have a look. While I can't show it on stream until I fix my stupid problem, which I always mean to look into on weekends, but I never really find time for it, so I really need to get around to doing that. Tonight you were probably having a lot of fun, so please tell us some of what you guys worked on. So for those of you who came through the raid, I am currently working on my drawing called The Magical White Yak, which is based on a dream I had of this beautiful yak that helped me and my brother carry some stuff up a hill. And after having the dream, I was like, I really need to draw a yak. It's so beautiful, And it's just one of those things, you never expect yourself to draw some things and then you end up doing them and you're like, this is one of the funnest things I have ever done, So, yeah. But yeah, he's a very, very wise yak, and he can also see the future, so if you touch him and he lets you, you can see parts of the future. But you can only see what he lets you see. And he's also very wise, so he gives a lot of advice out as well. But only if you're nice to him. You gotta be nice. If you're not nice, he curses you for the ends of time. And your life will never be the same again. So, you gotta be nice to him. This is a work in progress. You still want to add a bunch of tattoos. Let me have a look. That looks really, really cool. Good job on the anatomy. That is amazing. I love her shaved eyebrow as well. It really makes her look punky. That is so cool. And the colors work really well. That is stunning. I also dig the hair color you picked as well. I feel like it really pops out with like the pink and the fluoro green or blue. Works really well. This yak is super cute. Thank you, Eva. Thank you. I'm loving him. I'm like already attached to him. Don't you just love when you're drawing something and you get properly attached to your characters? It's like, you know, keep being you. You're so adorable. I just want you to be real. But it's okay. If you can't be real, I will just stay in your world forever and be with you, you know? That's awesome. It really, really is. You should share it in our Discord as well, Aoife. I'll drop a link to Discord, but I'm pretty sure you're already in our Discord. But yeah, share it in our Discord because a bunch of us really love to help support each other over there, and you know, it's a great way to get your art some more exposure as well. Like, I oftentimes find that, you know, I seek out new artists on Discord and I like to follow them. So, you never know who might fancy your work and then track you down, you know. You should really be painting your army. So are you entering another competition sometime soon? Something you realize is there's always someone who will watch your work. Remember, mukbang videos are a thing. What are mukbang videos? So you actually got inspired by the girls I draw and decided to draw a creepy little girl with horns but in your style. You hope you will finish it in time for the prompt deadline. I would love to see a work in progress Falls visual. Do you mind DMing me if you don't want to post it anywhere? I can understand you want to keep it a surprise. But please DM me. I would love to see. Alright, you should be heading to bed later. Well, we will see you next time, Melissa. I hope you have a good rest. Yeah, it's in 14 days. Oh my goodness. Why do you set yourself deadlines like this? You gotta get into it. Also, do you want to play Fallout this weekend? Please. I would love to. Would love to help you further your camp. Every day now I'm like gathering some like different resources so when you guys next play I can help you out. So, because you know, there's a ton of things you have to collect when you just start out the game and it can be really tough, especially when your character doesn't know a lot of different places and you're not familiar with the game, so I like to, you know, give you guys a bit of a boost. Will do. Well, thank you, Pulse Visual. I am excited to see it after the stream. You can't wait to see it. Horns Night will be great. I am definitely excited. I would love to join, but I don't know. Like, when's the deadline? Is it this end of this week or is it end of next week? If there's no deadlines, you don't paint. You get too lazy. This weekend should be good. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's just you had so many deadlines recently. You had uni and you're setting yourself painting deadlines. It's crazy. But yeah, I understand. Like, I like to set myself my own deadlines, and they're not even like anything anyone else imposes on me. And I think it's a very healthy approach. Like, if you don't set yourself deadlines sometimes, your brain just feels like keeps putting off your hobby, and eventually your hobby is less important than everything else in your life. And hobbies are really, really important, especially if you're trying to take it seriously and, you know, create a career out of it. Then you really need to be careful to not always put it aside and put other things ahead of it. Uh, Hello, Josie. How are you doing? So happy to see you. Uh, due this Thursday. Oh, so this Thursday. So unfortunately, from Wednesday evening, I'm going to be very busy. Because my boyfriend's got some time off, and so we're gonna spend some time together. But, maybe I can fit it in tomorrow and Wednesday? We'll have a look. I'm keen, but I'm also keen to work on this little guy. You know, and he doesn't have horns, and I don't want to give him horns, so can't exactly do that. So I will think about it. Maybe I will enter, maybe I won't. There's always a next one. I have actually wanted to enter Cody's challenges again for some time, so you know. 'For some reason, the kind of fluffy part of his butt is being so hard to get the fur just right. I don't know. It seems to be the most tricky area. Like, I wanted to be realistic and I wanted to make sense. Uh, 2 weeks equals 20,160 minutes. Plenty of time, plenty of time. I don't know, Dover, I don't know, because you gotta use those 20,000 minutes for a bunch of other different things, so may find that it's a lot less minutes than that you actually have to spend on things like art. Monk seals embody your lazy side. They get the best kind of sleep. What exactly are monk seals? You're great. You were thinking about buying Fallout since you're starting to make some money through Twitch. Hopefully, it stays on sale. Yeah, you definitely should, Josie. And if you do, please DM me on Discord, because I would love to add you and play with you. Hello, Chaz. How are you doing? I am good. I'm good. I wasn't feeling great at all on the weekend. But no, I've definitely gotten a lot better today. So I'm really happy because I totally wanted to stream today and work on this guy, and I have made so much progress on him. So much progress. We also had so many fun conversations throughout the day so far, and it's been awesome, you know? I love hanging with you guys. I'm always sad when I can't stream. So how was your weekend, Chaz? Did you have a good time? What did you get up to? I played a ton of video games. My brother actually put Doom on the TV and played it on the TV while I was watching. And that was pretty interesting because we have really good speakers on our television system. Well, he has really good speakers, I should say. My brother's a fair bit of an audiophile, so we enjoyed listening to the Doom music and watching him play it. You know, it's a really good soundtrack. I love the Doom soundtrack. It's amazing. So yeah, that was fun. And the other things I did was we went for a nice beautiful drive. It was like kind of dusk, so the sun was sort of setting, and it was really beautiful. So I loved that. Imagine if a pancake was a living creature. That's a monk seal. Okay, gotcha. I think I know the ones. Uh, am I from Scotland? No. I don't know why you would think I'm from Scotland. I'm from Australia. Specifically from Melbourne. So, really nice currently to be here, because we're essentially COVID-free. And that's awesome. Really happy about that. In Melbourne, apparently, and also in Sydney, it's pretty bad right now in Australia. So we do have our share of COVID. It's just not here. Like to keep it that way, you know? All these little details really help to sort of form the overall feel that his fur is fluffy. Not much, I just felt sick now. Now better. I am lucky. Yeah, we definitely are lucky. Well, I hope it's nothing serious. I hope you're probably over it soon. You know, being sick is never fun, never nice. He kind of looks like a giant mammoth, doesn't he? Not much, just felt sick, now better. So, what do you guys reckon is the difference between a bison, an ox, and a yak? Because for the life of me, I cannot figure it out, and I feel like every time I Google pictures, they all look the same. And I just don't get it, you know? They all look the same. Well, he's definitely starting to look a lot more fluffy. Um, I do have some progress pictures. I'll probably be posting those on like my Patreon or my Instagram stories. So if you guys are keen to see the works in progress, that's where you'll find them. Normally I share them in my Insta stories for a while, and the rest goes to Patreon. Bison have the front half super furry and the back half with much less hair. It's pretty funny. Yeah, it is. That's actually a good point. I didn't think about that. Yeah. So that's a distinguishing feature of a bison. Now, what's the difference between an ox and a yak? I would have thought an ox is not furry, but a bunch of the pictures I googled said that they were. I always thought an ox had smooth skin and that they were more scrawny looking. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, different species with traits relevant to the environment they live in. Okay, so both, you're saying both ox and yak can have fur, like be really fuzzy. I never really realized or thought much about the difference between them until that. Until I had to draw this guy and I had to look up a bunch of references, so yeah. It really enlightened me a bunch. Does feel like the graphite in some areas becomes kind of oversaturated and then you can't really go over it anymore. I don't know why that happens, but it does feel like it does. And it's fairly annoying. Because you can only then get so much depth out of it. The artist struggle, right? The endless artist struggle, the battle between artist and medium. Sometimes it's hard to know what is the right thing to do in life. You're studying to become a game developer since you've had, since you live and breathe video games, but then again, you do illustration excessively. Thank you for the follow, Dale. really appreciate that. Yeah, Sendo, that is a hard choice. And I feel like that's something that only you can really determine and choose for yourself. Only you can really decide what's best. I don't feel like you're ever gonna know what is the right thing for you and your life. A lot of things are just needing to take chances, you know? And that's okay. Sometimes risks are good to take, and it shows you're willing to throw everything on the line for your passion. So, like, I had a really pivotal moment last year when like I'd been working essentially full time and trying to push art in like after work hours, and it was just I was working so much and I had barely any time for art as it was. And then last year I had to have surgery, and because of that, I wasn't able to work for a while. So um, I decided, you know what? While I'm recovering, I'm gonna be using that time to start art streaming, throw all my time into art, and see where it goes. And so I started streaming, and I met so many of you guys. Like Dover King was there from the start. I met so many of my mods. I met Dart Guy, I met Zachary. Well, I actually knew Zachary for a couple of years on Instagram, to be honest. But I met Murders, who's still, you know, active on Discord with us, but gotten very busy with real life things and study and everything. So yeah, I met so many of you guys, made so many friends, and streaming started allowing me to see a bit more of a future. You know, I started growing my social media again, and it made me realize, you know, if I want this to work, I have to put in everything. You know, I have to go all in. So, you know, it took a little bit of a crisis for me to come to that realization, I guess. And I hope for everyone it doesn't have to be that way, but I feel like sometimes bad things can lead to really good situations and help us realize what we need to be happy, what we need to grow into a better direction in life. So, you know, you're gonna have to take a risk. Art is not without risk, and it's a very, very challenging career. You have to be willing to work very hard if you wanted to succeed, and I feel like the same's true for video games as well. You know, all those careers that are very creative in general require very long hours and a lot of intense work, but they're worth it. If they're your passion, they're worth it. Thank you so much again, Dale, for the follow. If you want to introduce yourself, please feel free. We'd love to meet you. And if you'd like to join the Discord, that way you can chat with us after the stream. So guys, I feel like I am getting pretty tired. So I am going to see who we can raid. So I will find someone that maybe, hopefully, we haven't raided before. So I'll first see, maybe there's someone online who we haven't raided for a while, you know? And that would be awesome. So currently, Charles is doing a very scribbly drawing, actually. It's pretty crazy. We could raid him. Chloe is streaming. Sand Experiment is also streaming. So that's pretty good. There's also another artist called K Marie that we haven't really raided before. And then Something Pretty is also streaming. She is sketching dragons. I feel like let's go there. Let us raid Something Pretty. I don't even know if I'm in her Discord, to be honest. Maybe I am. But anyway, let us raid her. And I will see you guys another time. I will be streaming tomorrow. Hopefully at my set time, which would be awesome. So, if you guys can, I will see you soon, Sendo. I will always know you as the seal buddy. Okay, so this is our raid message, guys. So if you can, copy and paste that message, and when we head over to something pretty, if you guys can type that in, that would be awesome. But until then, I am going to have to call it a day. Thank you so much, Dan. Thank you for that follow. Really, really appreciate that. And thank you to every single one of you today who kept me company and had awesome conversations. I'd like to see you out in Discord, please. Anyway, let us go. Let us raid. See you guys next time. That did not seem to work. Let me try again. Bye, guys.